take my baby for a ride. Ooh, she's like a smooth stretch of highway. Ooh, like a cool summer breeze. If my motor's running right, or we might lose control tonight. Got the shape I love to squeeze, looks that bring me to my knees. Oh please, let it roll tonight.
Hi once again, and welcome to TW Teleproductions North Coast Game of the Week. Gosh, guess where we are this week for our ball game? You see a few raindrops falling in the background on the Duck Pond in Castalia, where the Margaretta Polar Bears host the Carey Blue Devils in Week 2 of the high school football playoffs for 2025. And I don't know, you sound like a broken record all the time, but if you find a nicer place, a nicer venue for a high school football game, I want to see it, because this is an awfully gorgeous place to take in a Friday night of football, especially when you're talking about Margaretta in the playoffs and having a home playoff game for the first time in some 20 years. And look at that facility. And just to the right, the Duck Pond, and across the street, Margaretta High School, which a lot of folks are hoping within a few years you won't see it there anymore. Hello, Big Mike.
Tom Whaley, local legend. Local legend. I'd much rather work with him than my director, Ricky, tonight. But
What the heck, man? Big guy.
Oh, for Ricky Carey, man. You got thrown under the bus.
Okay.
Unbelievable stuff. But Big Mike, kind of unbelievable in his own right. Yeah.
The V-Locks.
Hello, Bears, and the B-Locks on hand to take in the Polar Bears, and as always,
Get your 50-50s in programs.
50-50 program.
There we go.
the true voices of Castalia ring out as soon as you roll through the door at the pond. And we're starting him at a young generation as well.
That's Mike Zoll.
Mike Zoll, Cold Tree Cleaning Services. That's right. Hope you have a blessed day as well. Thanks, Mike. And the Polar Bears getting set for action in this one tonight with Brett Miller and company down on the sidelines. And boy, what a thrill. Margaretta got to have a week off before getting into the playoffs. Margaretta, as you can see, going to be receiving the opening kickoff. And the Bears coming in with a record on the year of 9 wins and 1 loss. I want to talk about local legends. There's Gary Quizno, Lucas Pajali, locking horns and forming a great coaching combo. In fact, if you look at that whole Margaretta staff, that's a legendary staff in its own right, with all the names they have on the sidelines over there in Castalia. Judah Keller and the Blue Devils from Carey High School coming in with a record of 6-4, which will be very, very deceiving because they lost their first 3 games of the year to Hopewell Loudon, 10-1, Galleon, 10-1, Lima Central Catholic, 10-1. Your fan of the week is up next for Snow Trails Winter Resort in Mansfield. I'll step aside.
We love you. Number 1. Yeah, we're number 1. Bring your telephone. Bring your telephone. Oh, here, wait, I got my 2 down. Got another one. We're the Polar Bears from way back.
She had some polar bear juice tonight, and there is no way I was going to compete with that one, but that is your fan of the week for Snow Trails Winter Resort located in Mansfield. Well, these are some polar bears from not quite back as far, but building legends in their own right. But this Carey Blue Devil team, once they got out of independent play and into their league play in the N10, holy mackerel, did they make some hay. The only loss they had of the conference season was to Mohawk, who finished the year at 9-1 as well, or 9-2. Yeah, they were 8-2 in the regular season, but got a playoff win on top of that. And Carey lost to them 29-28 in overtime. So this was a mighty tough football team by the time they got done going through the ringer in their first 3 games of the season. Good close inside the helmet look at Jace Berg and a look at the turnout. The village just turns the lights out, heads for the football field, and that's where they all meet on a Friday night, especially when you've got playoff action on the agenda. That is a game face right there. No mess. And the Polar Bear Marching Band making their entrance onto the field as well. The winner of this game going up against a game that would be between Paulding and Sherwood Fairview, a game that the number 4 seeded Paulding team would win to advance their record to 11-0 on the year. Wait, normally this North Coast Game of the Week camera attracts smiles some way or another, and they did with the Polar Bear cheerleaders, and now the marching band making their entrance at the Duck Pond. The only loss for these Polar Bears, of course, came in Week 1 to Vermilion. Since then, the Bears rattled off 9 straight wins and got a bye week, heading into playoff week number 1 for them, which comes in week number 12 of this high school football season. The Bears are ready. Hopefully you're ready. Settle back, relax, and enjoy with us. Playoff action, Margaretta hosting Carey. And this week's presentation of the North Coast Game of the Week, we're set to let it roll, so stay right where you are. Let that stuff go down. And we're set. Come on back and join us here momentarily for the North Coast Game of the Week. Man, I think Tom was laying next to the tracks for that one. For crying out loud. Holy mackerel, look out, look out. Good thing there was a curve in those tracks. Shores and Islands, Ohio, bringing you our first quarter of action from Castalia tonight, along with the good folks at Ehovie Career Center in Milan, out from Old Railroad Road in Margaretta Township. And there's a look at our first kickoff of the night, and Margaretta got a great field position on that little squib kick along the ground, starting on their own 42-yard line. And right off the bat, Jake Boy at quarterback, wearing number 11, will follow his line left side before running into Lucas Smith-Hayward. But a gain of 12 yards and a Polar Bear first down on the first carry of the night. A nice seal blocking right there. The guard pulling around in number 63, Mason Yetter. And that opens a nice gap for Boy. So that's to the Carey 46-yard line after a 12-yard pickup, and the Polar Bears, 1 first down on 1 snap of the football. Cale Bailey, little slant in for 7, a 2nd down and 3. And we'll get our first look at Judah Keller. Boy, they pretty much zeroed in on Judah. Mace Puckett there to bring him down right at the line of scrimmage to bring up a 3rd down and 3. A holding call would make things a little bit more interesting right here. And we'll mark the Bears back to a 3rd down and 13. Back on the 49-yard line. And there's Cale Bailey again. Nice combination from Boy for a 23-yard pickup down to the Carey 26-yard line. And as Corey Britton would say, a Polar Bear first down. Corey, the PA announcer, of course, at Margaretta. Nicely thrown ball by Boy, rolling to his left. Getting set and squared up and delivering a shot to Bailey. So from the 26-yard line, we'll get a look at that counter trap play, and that is Tyson Bailey carrying for 10 more and another first down to the Carey 16-yard line.
Ball carrier for the Bears.
This is Bringing the Heat for Gunlock Sheet Metal Works Incorporated. Heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and refrigeration since 1889. Dr. Bailey coming from the right side of your screen. Nice yardage. After a 10-yard pickup, they've got another first down. Their third first down of this opening drive already from the Carey 16-yard line. That's Bringing the Heat for Gunlock Sheet Metal Works on Columbus Avenue in Sandusky, just south of the 5 Points intersection. Judah Keller for 3. Be a second down and 7 at the 13. This connection to Luzader. Carter coming right back to the football and being down at the 1-yard line, setting up the Polar Bears just a yard away from the Carey goal line. See Boy on the rollout. And again, rolling to his left and delivering on the money. Luzader went down after that football to make sure he got his hands under it for the 12-yard gain to the 1-yard line. And from that point, the shortest distance between two spots, it's just that straight little line. And Jake Boy will take it over from the 1-yard line, and the Polar Bears draw first blood. A drive that consumed 8 plays, 58 yards, and took 4 minutes and 2 seconds off the clock. Great way to start for Margaretta. Another look for Matthews Ford at Boy and his offensive lineman. Taking it home. And Boy would add the extra point as well. And a 7-0 Margaretta lead just 4 minutes and 2 seconds into this contest in Castalia. Boy for the kickoff. And on the return by Boston Ritter. We get that thing all the way out to the Carey 39-yard line, where they go 1st and 10. They've got a trio of running backs. This one, Eli Steen, a senior, carries for just a couple of yards. Margaretta's defense right there again, but unfortunately somebody had lined up offsides, and it would be 5 yards, and this is why Gary Quizna saying, what do you mean? You didn't do a killed play? 2nd down and 3. As we're going to find out tonight, if you're going to put these guys at the sticks on 2nd down and 3, their odds are pretty good. There's Steen for 7 to the Margaretta 47. This young man is Mace Puckett. It's a 9-yard pickup to the Margaretta 38-yard line, where it would be 2nd down and 1, and the official want to take a lunch break here, so just going to take a timeout while we thank the following local businesses for their support. Leslie Murray Law, Fosco Cement, David F. Cook Funeral and Cremation Services, Diedrich Motors, Crush Wine Bar, Dockside Cafe, Pier Pub, Pizza House East, O.E. Meyer Propane Division, and TC's Slide Through. Second and 1. Converts to a Carey first down on the Margaretta 35-yard line. The first 2 sets of downs, they'd had 2nd and 3 and 2nd and 1. Their running game is their bread and butter as we look at Mace Puckett once again.
48, Puckett, the ball carrier.
2nd down and 5. On the Margaretta 28. The time the Bears are pretty much there to put the clamps down on Puckett after a 2-yard gain to bring up a 3rd and 3. Margaretta's defense with an early statement saying nothing is going to come easy, stopping Puckett short of a first down. It would bring up 4th down and 1 on the 24. Big play. That quick hitter, Steen, right through the middle for a first down on another pickup of 3, and they've got a fresh set of downs on the Margaretta 21-yard line. Mace Puckett once again. 5-yard pickup. 16-yard line as they inch into the red zone. And again, Mace Puckett, look at that open field stop right there for the Polar Bears by Zach Boy. They don't draw them up a whole lot better than that. You can't run without your feet. If your feet disappear, chances are you're going down. The boy come from the right side of your screen. Plays off a block and right to the ankles of Puckett. On the 10-yard line, it's a first down and goal for Carey. This time it's Dash Puckett. His first carry, and it is goal. That's actually the quarterback that held onto it right there, Trip Phoenix.
That's a football name, isn't it?
Gotta love a quarterback by the name of Trip Phoenix. It's just, it reeks of football player. And he got around that left side, untouched to the end zone for the first score for Carey, and they are 1 point away from tying this football game up. And the kicker, Benson Klopfer, right through, and it is a 7-7 ball game as we thank the following local businesses for supporting us here at the Game of the Week. Erie Community Federal Credit Union, Pizza House West, Brady Signs, Cold Creek Cafe, Cook Aluminum, Wendy's, Hartung Title, Pizza House West, and Chick-fil-A. Klopfer with another squib kick along the ground. Swiped out of midair on the bounce by Judah Keller, who will return that ball out to the 39-yard line. Margaretta puts together an opening drive. Carey answers right back with a 12-play, 61-yard march, and all on the ground, so it took 6 minutes and 23 seconds off the clock as Margaretta gets it back with 1:35 to go in the quarter. So look at Coach Quizno looking on from the sidelines as Margaretta faces 2nd and 3 on their 46. This is all Jake Boy. Cutting back against the grain and finding the opening as things get a little bit chippy early in this one. There was a personal foul penalty tacked onto this one. Boy's saying, hey, I'm the quarterback. You're supposed to let me alone. Cooler heads prevail, but watch to the far sidelines. This boy number 1 does a great job of slipping tackles and then cutting to some open space on the far side of the field. Now, it's hard to tell where exactly the sideline is, but he's pretty much down and out there. And then, want some help? Yep, somebody said something over there that somebody didn't like. And then somehow or another, in the middle of all of that, boy ended up going down, and there was a personal foul called against Carey. So Margaretta gets all the way down to the 24-yard line, where they're going to get a first down. You don't come to Castelia and treat our boys like that. I'm sorry. Originally, see, this was a weird thing. We'll explain that when we come back from thanking a few more local businesses for supporting the Game of the Week. When the official comes out and signals personal foul against Margaretta, you saw Coach Quisno's reaction, but then signaled one against Carey, which was negating the offset, but there was another personal foul against Carey that brought the ball down to the 24, where it was a 6-yard gain by Boy, leaving Margaretta with 2nd and 4 as our first quarter wraps up from the Duck Pond. And it is a 7-7 contest. Polar Bears and Blue Devils as our second quarter kicks off next from Castelia on the Game of the Week. Not a great looking night. You saw this guy earlier, Mike Zoll from Cold Creek Cleaning Services. Hope you have a blessed day. From all the folks, call 621-4766 for Mike Zoll, Cold Creek Cleaning Service. And our tongue title, supporting local athletics for generations across the North Coast. It's our tongue title. Somebody turn off the spigot, for crying out loud. Thankfully, by game time, it was pretty much there, but a 2nd down and 4 for Margaretta opens the second quarter, and you see the story on our Civista Bank scoreboard. The Polar Bears and Blue Devils knotted up at 7 apiece. Here's Boy met head-on by Carter Bain, bringing up a 3rd down and 4 on the 18-yard line. Margaretta with a promising drive here, and then an incomplete pass to the far sidelines. Margaretta screaming for interference, not going to get it. Let's let you be the judge right here as we take another look for Matthews Ford. And 2 receivers in the same area, which I'm not quite sure if that's the way this was designed or not. I didn't see much interference. And it all leads to a 4th down and 4. And what was a very, very promising drive for Margaretta to try and take the lead back now turns into this. Trip Phoenix picks it off and returns it out to the Carey 31-yard line, and the Blue Devils are back in charge of the football. We'll take another look here. That play clock was running down here. Hurried the play, and kind of a wobbly pass thrown out there. Intended for Bailey, but picked off by Phoenix and Carey for the first big turnover of the game. There's Steen into the line of scrimmage. And what looks like a very simple play is a 6-yard gain. if you got to look at these guys before the game, you could tell they were big to begin with. They brought 50 players to this game, and Margaretta had 30, and Coach Quiz was worried about possibly getting run down by these guys, and especially an offense that just keeps beating on you and beating on you like this, and that defense really has to work hard. There is going to be a fatigue factor in there sooner or later. First down out on the 43-yard line. This is Mace Puckett slipping one tackle and then making the Polar Bears pay. No gain or a loss turns into a 12-yard pickup and a first down on the Margaretta 45. This is just great running by Puckett. He's slipping that tackle right there from Cohen Gaylor. And then Puckett gets around the edge for a Carey first down. A great determination by Keller, running him back down from one side of the field to the other. But in Margaretta territory now on the 45. Puckett stopped for just 3 that time. Now that time you see the play being stopped as Margaretta encroached for the second time of the ball game, and that makes it a second down and 2. And again, we talked about it before, but this is not a football team you want to give any yardage to because they are pretty adept at picking it up on their own. Thanks to the following businesses for their support of the Game of the Week: Hermes Parker Concrete, Snow Trails, Savista Bank, Matthews Ford, Cameo Pizza, S&H Blinds and Floors, Fresh Electric Incorporated, Flynn Pie & Cruise, Toft Funeral Home and Crematory, Restore Pro, and Musicians Alley. The second down and 2 after the offsides, and here comes Puckett. And there is Puckett for a first down on a 7-yard pickup to the Margaretta 30-yard line. At this point in time, very concerned Lucas Pajali looking on. First down number 7 for the Blue Devils. Ball on the Margaretta 27-yard line. Steen, quick hitter through the middle. Boy, that's hard to pick up. Got a quarterback who just turns, and that ball is in Steen's hands just that quickly. Plows forward for 6, where it's third down and 1. Steen again, an All-Ohio running back who takes it forward for 4 to the Margaretta 17-yard line. Puckett again.
Puckett, the ball carrier. Tackle by number 1, Judah Keller.
Keller wrestles him down at the 6-yard line where they've got a first and goal. Cohen Gaylor stopping that one after a 3-yard pickup. Second down and goal at the 3. Margaretta not giving in. It's third and goal at the 1. And now fourth and goal from about the 3-inch line. Margaretta's defense pumped as they are ready to try and make a big goal line stand right here. Special thanks to the following local businesses for supporting the Game of the Week: Margaretta's defense back on the field, trying to stand tall right here. This time it's going to be the third man out of that I formation. Dash Puckett. 1 yard touchdown with 3:22 to go in the quarter. Now, the first two times Carey touches the ball, they hold on to it for 6 minutes and 23 seconds, and on this drive, 7 minutes and 39 seconds. That's ball control. Those two drives alone ate up 14 minutes off the clock in the first half, and it's only a 24-minute half. Yeah, it's funny when you look at Klopfer knock that ball through the uprights and put plenty of juice on it. Interesting that they just keep dribbling the ball along the ground. Now Margaretta starts on their own 44. Good field position again. However, penalty flag on the play would bring this one back. The eyes. The many moods of Aaron Caldwell. By the way, she has an awfully nice disposition young man as a son in Connor. I don't know why she hasn't picked up on his nice disposition. For some reason, she totally whiffed on that one. Margaretta running on 3rd and 17. Ball actually coming up in the arms of Lewis Watkins. This one was trouble. Look at that ball pop up into the air. And look at right there, Carter Boehm standing right there at the 42-yard line to bring that one home for a fumble recovery and a score. And this is kind of a backbreaker right here. Watch Boy on the carry. He's got the ball wrapped up the way he should. Hands around the end of the ball and then the helmet. Boom! Bounced out of there and right into the awaiting arms of Boehm. In stride to take it to the end zone. And Klopfer, with his third extra point, increases the Carey lead to 21-7. And what a turnaround right before halftime. And especially when you stop and think ahead to the second half, when Carey is going to be getting the football first. 21 unanswered points here near the end of the half for Carey. Margaretta starting from their own 38-yard line, now down by 14. Again, Margaretta, the number 1 seed in Region 22, Division 6. Carey, the number 9 seed. And not quite what we expected at halftime. Shooting through to make a big stop right there, Kyler Bowes. And that pretty much closes things down for the Polar Bears in the first half. And Carey, as they should be, well juiced up heading into that locker room. And Margaretta with some work to do at halftime. This just kind of tells the story of the first half and where it went. That Carey defense being prolific after the first drive of the game. And actually, most of the second drive was pretty good for the Bears until that interception, and then it's been all Carey ever since. It leads to a halftime score of the Carey Blue Devils 21 and the Margaretta Polar Bears 7. Our second half coming up right around the corner. Can the Polar Bears make a comeback? Come back and find out the answer next on TW Teleproductions Game of the Week. The sound effects and everything. Gotta love it. Wake Up and Waffle, a brunchery in downtown Sandusky at the Marketplace, ready to bring you our third quarter of activity from the pond, as that duck shows us his better side. And Groff Funeral Homes, with parlors in Sandusky, Milan, and Huron, helping to bring our third quarter to us as well. It's Groff Funeral Homes. Polar Bears with some work to do here in the second half. Kickoff being returned from down deep by Boston Ritter. And if you really look carefully in there, you're going to see why there was a penalty flag thrown for a face mask against the Bears. It brings Carey out to their 44-yard line to start this drive. And from what we saw in the first half, it's just not a team, like we said earlier, that you give yardage to. They get enough on their own. And that one is Dash Puckett. Gains out 8 down to the Margaretta 44, where it's first down number 10 for the Blue Devils. See Phoenix under center. He was been there all night long, and with this kind of success, not about to change now. That's Dash Puckett all the way down to the 12-yard line for a pickup of 32 yards and another Carey first down. There's Mace Puckett for 5 yards to the 7. Dash Puckett to the 2. Another 5-yard pickup. Or it'll be first down and goal for the Blue Devils. Quick hitter to Steen. Polar Bears plug it up. Second and goal, this time from the 1. This is the Polar Bears' worst nightmare. Coming right out of the locker room, and this is where that fumble recovery and return for a score near the end of the first half really comes into play big. As Carey gets the ball first in the second half, goes 7 plays, 56 yards into the end zone. And now they've got a 3-score lead. Took 4 minutes off the clock. And in the 3 scoring drives that Carey has had in this game, they've taken 15 minutes and 23 seconds off the clock. Lepper's extra point kick good, and now a 28-7 lead. You see him just continuing to pooch that ball along the ground. Margaretta, decent field position again at their 38. They're willing to give that up. But their defense has been doing the job ever since that first drive of the ball game. This time, Keller finds the combination for a 27-yard pickup all the way down to the Carey 35-yard line. This is paving the way for Hermes Parker Concrete Limited of Sandusky. So what we're hoping to see more of throughout the night, but pretty much except for this one play, Carey found a way to bottle up Judah Keller. Keller right here. Nice little stutter move back to the inside once again to the open territory. Running through a couple of would-be tacklers. And getting that ball down to the Carey 35-yard line. That's paving the way for Hermes Parker Concrete Limited of Sandusky. Let's try the same thing. This time, Carey more equal to the task, holding Keller for a 4-yard pickup to the 31-yard line, where it's second down and 6. And Keller for 2 to make it 3rd and 4 on the 29. That's exactly what the Bears need right here, is Boy carrying for a first down at the 24-yard line. They need to answer Carey back right here to climb their way back into the ball game. They're on the Blue Devil 24-yard line at the end of this Jake Boy run. Boy fighting for that extra yard and gets it forward to the Carey 24. Margaretta first down number 8. Keller hopped over one tackler, but then goes down with a yard loss to make it a second down and 11. Cale Bailey knocked out of bounds after a 4-yard pickup, which is down to the Carey 21-yard line, bringing up a 3rd and 7 as we watch Bowie once again. Well timed, just past the outstretched arms of Kyler Bose. Third down and 7 on the 21. See Keller fighting for extra yardage, picks up 3 to the 18, where it would be a 4th down and 4. A must convert for the Bears right here. To the end zone. Easy call. Trip Phoenix on the interference in the end zone on Bailey. That will give Margaretta a 1st and goal at the 9. And Carey's defense kind of ticked off right here. That's a loss of 3. 2nd and goal at the 12. And they're still ticked off. Look at them swarm to the football right there. Trying to bring Luzado around, throw him for a yard loss. It's a 3rd down and goal on the 13-yard line. And then Dash Puckett spoils the Polar Bear party with the interception and return all the way to the Margaretta 41-yard line. And then Carey right back to the drawing board to do what they have been doing best so far, and that is just pound and pound and pound at this Margaretta defense. Trip Phoenix off the play fake. Watch him go around the right side. All the way down to the 15-yard line in the red zone. Carey is knocking on the door again, leading 28-7 after 3 quarters at the Duck Pond. The Polar Bears are praying for a miracle right here, and it starts in getting this drive stopped of the Blue Devils. Don't let them score again. We'll find out what happens when our 4th quarter begins next on our North Coast Game of the Week. The Old Fish House in Huron bringing you our 3rd quarter of activity. They've got knickknacks, snacks, and BS facts free for the entering at the Old Fish House in Huron. And our 4th quarter sponsored by North Coast Handyman at 419-656-0905. North Coast Handyman. What a great look across the pond. On a first down from the 15, needing a stop. Puckett. Second effort all the way down to the 6-yard line where it's 2nd down and 1. Steen for nothing. 3rd down and 1. Boy, it looked like the Bears had that one stepped up. But Puckett breaks through it. and into the end zone for a 6-yard touchdown run. Look at this great effort by Mace Puckett. He looks stopped in there, but all of a sudden shoots through the pile and just keeps on bullying into the end zone. Well, they got great field position on the Margaretta 41. It took them just 6 plays to get there and 3 minutes and 43 seconds off the clock. And now the Bears in deep trouble, trailing 35-7. If anybody can keep you up, it's going to be Lucas Pajali. Thanks to the following local businesses for their support of the Game of the Week: Pizza Brothers, Small City Tap House, Danny Boys, Clag Brewing, coveted by Cher, Kieran Pizza House, Gnome's Podiatric Medicine, and Brumbaugh Law Firm. Special thanks also going out to the following local businesses: Now, Margaretta has watched Carey score 35 unanswered points in this game, but the Bears, again, as they have all night long, will get good field position out on their 48-yard line. Second down and 10. And now third down and 10 from the 48. Thanks again to the following local businesses for supporting us here at the Game of the Week: J Bistro Downtown, Chet and Matt's Pizza, Matthews Ford, Snyder Collision, WTF Rice, Sora and Oak Sushi and Whiskey Bar, Vita, Downtown Sandusky, Shores and Islands, Ohio, Cold Creek Cafe, and Firelands Health. Good luck to the Polar Bears from all the folks at TC's Slide Through and Drive Through in Sandusky and Perkins. TC's Slide Through and Brumbaugh Law Firm says also good luck to the Polar Bears. Elder Care and Estate Planning from Brumbaugh Law Firm. Quick toss to Zach Boy. That'll pick up 10 and get a Polar Bear first down on the Carey 42-yard line. Look at the Bears now. Gain of 13 to the 29-yard line. That is what you call a horse collar. Braden Williams' initial protest didn't last very long. I think he might have seen his coaching staff on the sideline. Knock it off. You horse collared him. You're going to get penalized for it. From the 29-yard line to the 14-yard line. Polar Bears, though, going to get marked back to a first down and 20 off of a holding call. Into the end zone, it goes incomplete. Trying to hit Mason Reinbold. To the 11-yard line is Zach Boy. Fourth down and 6 at the 11. This is the discouraging part for Margaretta after, number one, you take a look at a nicely executed pass play to Boy, Jake to Zach. Margaretta has moved the ball, but they've had a fumble recovery for a touchdown. They've had an interception, which negated a fourth down in the red zone. And they've just had those costly mistakes at inopportune moments. And now, Carey would take over on their own 11-yard line with 7:40 left to go in the game. the 35-7 lead. Steen for 3. And again, the problem is, against a football team like this, they not only run the ball well, but if you notice, they don't go out of bounds very much either. They keep that clock running. It's a 2nd down and 10 out on their 31-yard line. Puckett turning the corner and gaining 11 yards out to the 42, where the first down machine now rolls up to number 16. After the game, the head coach of Carey, Jonathan Mershman, talked about his 5 offensive linemen, and Chase Stone, Levi Bowling, Garrett Bowes, Caleb Putnam, and Beckham Sherman, who just continued to work all night long. Even their tight ends, Kyler Bowes, Boston Ritter, Braden Williams, who in other games might very well get their hands on the ball a lot more, but they don't in this game, and they just continued to open up holes and get some push, which would keep Carey in possession of the football. This is the first time in the head coaching career of Coach Mershman that he ever coached a team that did not attempt a pass in a game. Not one single solitary pass. They just ran the ball all night long. A 3rd down and 1 on the Margaretta 49 turns into a whole lot more, courtesy of Trip Phoenix. And with that clock continuing to run, they now have a first down on the Margaretta 15. And they are just slowly but surely eating the time away in this ball game. When the night got done and you looked at time of possession, remember there's 48 minutes in a game. Carey held on to the ball for 29 minutes and 25 seconds. That only gave Margaretta 18 minutes and 35 seconds of game clock to work with all night long. It just wasn't enough. It's a 4th down and 1 down on the 6-yard line, and any last glimpse that Margaretta had of making some kind of outlandish miracle happen went by the wayside when they turned in a first down and goal at the 4, and from there they would just take a knee and kneel this one out to a very big playoff victory. Carey Blue Devils increasing their record to 8-4 on the season. A couple of playoff wins. They come over Patrick Henry, who was 16-7 win. Patrick Henry was 8-3, and then they beat the number 1 seed in the Margaretta Polar Bears. They have earned their spot against 11-0 Paulding next week. Your Pancake Player of the Game is up next for Sandusky Bay Pancake House, with the best pancakes anywhere since 1966. Junior Carter Luzader will receive the gift card this week, and there's the pass that set the Polar Bears up for the first touchdown of the ball game down at the 2-yard line of Carey. Carter Luzader, congratulations for being our Pancake Player of the Game for Sandusky Bay Pancake House. No coach is ever ready for that kind of speech at the end of the year. You just don't prepare those things because you always think you're going to win. You got to have the confidence to know that you're going to win, but you reflect back now past these emotions into what a year it has been for this Margaretta football team, and a record-setting year. 9 straight wins during the regular season to earn that number 1 seed, a bye week before being upended by Carey. But this Carey team is no slouch, as you saw. After starting the year 0-3, they put together 5 straight wins before their only conference loss, and then finished up the year with a win over Bucyrus and into the playoffs with wins over Patrick Henry and Margaretta. Well, all you say now is good luck to the Blue Devils against Paulding next week, and hopefully they'll carry that banner high from this one. Margaretta, congratulations on a great season. And now, after the dust settles, you look forward to what's probably going to be just as outstanding of a basketball season for the green and white as well, as winter sports now is stepping up right around the corner. Next week on our Game of the Week, when we get together again, we'll be in Gallion, and we'll be in Division 4, where the Perkins Pirates continue their playoff march against the Gallion Tigers, and a big challenge in front of the Pirates. We'll see how it all turns out next time we get together on the North Coast Game of the Week. See you then.